Avoiding deficiency. How do you make sure you don't become deficient on a raw vegan diet? It's so funny. People start eating the world's healthiest diet, and then they wonder about, what if I'm deficient in something? And it's like, you never wondered if you were deficient in something when you were eating like total crap. So how come now that you're eating the world's best food, the world's best diet, now you're concerned about being deficient? It just seems a little funny, you know? But that's just what happens, because the more aware you become, the more aware you become. And so when you become aware enough to realize that you're eating the world's healthiest diet, you also become aware that, hey, there's actually some potential here for a deficiency to come up. And so the ways to prevent a deficiency, well, first and foremost, understanding that like a deficiency, like sometimes your history of drug use is going to affect your potential for being deficient in something. Your genetics are going to play a part. You know, your freaking mindset, like the placebo effect is going to play a part. And there's so many studies to show this, that like if you give someone B12, their B12 levels go up. If you give someone placebo B12 and tell them they're getting B12, their B12 levels go up, right? So placebo can even play an effect on how deficient or how healthy you are. And so when it comes to avoiding deficiencies, there's a few things you can do. There's a few things I do. Number one thing you can do is you can go and get blood tested. You can go and get P tested. You gotta test your P for things like B12 and whatnot. But go get blood tested. If you do go get blood tested, just know that one blood test is not enough, because one blood test is like a snapshot in time. So let's say somebody comes in and peeks into your house and sees you crying, and then they leave. And then they go and tell somebody about what they just learned about you. Well, they just saw a snapshot. They looked into your house and saw you crying. So they go and tell their friend Bob. They're like, Bob, that Sally girl, she's just crying, dude. She's just crying. She just cried. She's just crying. And that's all Bob knows about you, because he saw one snapshot. But if Bob came back like the next day and saw you smiling, and came back the next day and saw you smiling again, and came back the next day and saw you smiling again, he'd realize that, oh, you're just crying like that one time. So it's kind of like a blood test. Like a blood test is like a snapshot in time. So if you do get blood tested, cool. But get blood tested again 3 months later, and go get blood tested again 3 months later, and go get blood tested again 3 months later. Do that over the course of a year to get a really good idea of what the heck's actually going on in your blood. Now, at the same time, a really easy way to make sure you're not being deficient is just to track everything that you eat in chronometer, more or less. You don't need to be obsessive about this if you don't want to be obsessive about it. Some people do want to be obsessive about it. I'm going to make a whole video about that, like how to know what is an eating disorder and what's not. Because it's funny, a lot of people think that if you track your food, if you track your calories, you track your nutrients, you're orthorexic. And it's like, how is that orthorexic? How is that a bad thing to be disciplined with what you're eating, when most people are completely undisciplined and have freaking diabetes and dying of heart attacks and dying of cancer because they're completely undisciplined, completely unaware of what's going on in their body? Like, if you want to obsess about what you're putting in your body, do it. By all means, freaking do it. Just make sure you feel really good and your athletic performance is top notch and you're freaking happy, lucky, go type of person, whatever. But the point is, if you want to make sure you're not getting deficiency and you want to obsess over it, cool, do it. Punch in what you're eating on chronometer. And on chronometer, it's a fun game to play. You punch in everything you ate that day and see where you came up short or where you came up extra high, whatever. Usually for me, when I punch in what I'm eating on a regular basis, I come up a little low on vitamin E, and pretty much it. Maybe sometimes zinc is like a little low or something, but that's pretty much it. And so I know from experience, after punching in everything I eat every single day on chronometer for many, many months, that I'm typically low in vitamin E. So what do? I just have a vitamin E supplement. I just drop a little vitamin E in my smoothie or glass of water every now and then, drink it back. That's that. I also take a supplement. I take a B12 supplement. I take a vitamin D3 supplement, and take a little bit of iodine as well. So that's pretty much that. And as far as selenium goes, selenium is also another one some people are quite low in. They don't really realize it. Is I just eat one Brazil nut every day. We call it a Brazil pill. And one Brazil nut per day will make sure you meet all of your selenium needs. So if you're taking a vitamin B12, you're taking a vitamin D3, which, by the way, let's stop on those two. Vitamin D3 is a hormone. It's actually a vitamin, so I don't know why they call it a vitamin. Yeah, sure, we get it from food. We also get it from sunlight. So vitamin D3 is a hormone. Every single person on the planet, whether you're eating meat or raw vegan, should be taking vitamin D3. And B12 is it's something that's formed in your body. It's formed in animals. And so, again, it's hard to call it a vitamin when it's like formed in your body naturally anyway. But it doesn't hurt to take a B12 supplement anyway. Take a B12, take a vitamin D3, and this is not medical advice, by the way. This is just what I would do if I was getting started, and this is what I do now. And I also take a little bit of iodine, not too much, tiny bit of iodine. But feel free to get tested to see if your iodine is low. You can also eat a bunch of seaweed if you want, but that typically doesn't do the trick apparently. Take a little bit of iodine, so I do. And then I also take a zinc every now and then. and then a little bit of vitamin E every now and then as well. Take a Brazil nut. And on top of that, I punch in what I eat on Chronometer, and I can see that, wow, my vitamin A is fantastic, vitamin C is fantastic, all my B vitamins are fantastic, all my freaking sodium levels are fantastic, like potassium, everything is freaking perfect. My omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is perfect. Like I'm just getting everything. I'm hitting all of my nutrients. So there's no possible way I can be deficient because I check. I put in what I eat and I check. If you want the link for that app, I will post it in the description. It's called Chronometer and it is fantastic. But between getting blood tested, between checking on Chronometer, and between supplementing with the supplements I mentioned, you're probably going to be pretty well off. If you want to take things like to the extreme, I know some people do this. They go and get like hair and blood analysis. You can do that. I've never felt the need. I feel perfectly healthy in my body. I don't feel like I have any health issues whatsoever. I'm running, I'm lifting weights, I'm sleeping great. My libido is perfect. Like everything is awesome. So I think I have all the symptoms of health. And this is after, again, eating raw vegan for 10 years. And when I was eating raw vegan for 10 years, when I was still 100% raw, I still felt freaking amazing. In fact, I probably had more energy back then than I do now because when you cook food, your energy goes down ever so slightly after a cooked food meal. But on the days when I eat 100% raw, my energy, I should say, and mood is very high and it's solid throughout the entire day. So that's that. There's no need to be concerned about being deficient when you're eating a raw vegan diet, as long as, like I said, you're tracking what you're eating, you're taking some supplements just to be on the safe side, and you're eating high quality food. In fact, this video should not end unless I mention this. You gotta make sure you're eating high quality food. High quality food being like good high quality fruit for breakfast and lunch, and then a nice big old salad for dinner, and you're gonna be good. Just make sure to mix it up, have lots of variety, eat in season, eat organic, and make sure the food tastes delicious. The higher the taste quality, like the better a food tastes, the more nutrients it has in it, okay? So all those supplements I mentioned, those are only gonna be like backup safety parachutes for you. They're not gonna like make you healthy. They're just gonna be like support blocks for you. But the foundation, the bulk of everything that you, in terms of vitamins and minerals that you're getting, needs to come from your diet, okay? So you gotta make sure that the food you're eating is high quality and it's full of color. Making sure you're getting in your reds and your greens and your yellows and your pinks and your blues. Eat from the rainbow and make sure it's all tasting really, really good. And you'll be good. You'll be all good. You'll be all good. There's so much to health when you really look into it all, but at the same time, when you just simplify it and just realize that, hey, if I'm eating really delicious fruit and vegetables, like raw foods, like every other animal in nature does, just eats completely raw, I'm gonna be all right. But because of certain modern farming methods, the same amount of nutrients aren't in our soil that they used to be. So if you want to fortify your meals and you want to fortify your diet, making sure you're getting all your extra minerals and vitamins that aren't in the soil as they should be, you can supplement with whole foods, like whole food mineral placement supplements like a Daily Green Boost, which is what I use. I'll post a link for Daily Green Boost in the description. Definitely check it out and you can get a 10% discount on your Daily Green Boost if you use the link below. So that's that. All right, peace out, much love, adios, and enjoy the rest of this playlist. If you want the full playlist, link description. If you want help eating a raw food diet for 30 days, and you want me to guide you for an entire month so you can eat 100% raw, I'll post a link for that in the description. You can join the 30-day raw food challenge there. All right, peace, bye, much love.